This is Rulu's World Television. Welcome to News Top Up, your weekly recap of trending stories. I am Munishola Yanolua.
Chaos erupted at the headquarters of Nigeria's People Democratic Party at Wadata Plaza, Abuja, on Tuesday, 18th November 2025. The clash is part of a broader internal struggle within the party. Tensions escalated after former National Secretary Samuel Anyanwu rejected his reported expulsion at the Ibadan convention on 17th November, calling it illegitimate. Anyanwu has been suspended 1st of November along with three other national officers, retaliated by suspending several key figures of the opposing faction, including acting national chairman Umar and National Publicity Secretary Debo Ologunagba. The situation boiled over when Governors Sheyi Makinde and Bala Mohammed, alongside PDP National Chairman Kabiru Tanimu Turaki, arrived for a scheduled party meeting. They were blocked by supporters loyal to former Rivers State Governor Johnson Wike, who held parallel meetings to resist Turaki's leadership. Scuffles broke out inside the secretariat, promoting police to fire tear gas, and the party's inaugural National Working Committee meeting was postponed. In a dramatic move, Turaki appealed to the international community for help, calling the standoff a threat to Nigeria's democracy and even appealing to US President Donald Trump. Critics, however, argue that the party should resolve its dispute internally without foreign involvement. The showdown at Wadata Plaza highlights deep divisions within the PDP, with each faction claiming legitimacy. Analysts warn that the crisis could have lasting implications for party unity and the stability of upcoming elections.
I'm calling on all other developed nations, all advanced democracies, come and save Nigeria, come and save democracy.
In Kwara State, Nigeria, tensions remain high following Monday night's deadly attack in a church in the town of Eruku. Armed bandits stormed the Christ Apostolic Church, Okeishagun, during a live stream service on the evening of November 18th. The attackers opened fire inside the building, sending worshippers scrambling for safety. Police have confirmed two people were killed, while community sources say the toll may be as high as three, with several others injured, including a young girl who sustained a severe gunshot wound. An estimated 10 worshippers, among them the church pastor, were abducted and taken into surrendering forest. Security forces, including local vigilantes, responded quickly and engaged the attackers, who eventually fled deeper into the bush. A search and rescue operation is still ongoing. The attack has sparked outrage in Eruku on Tuesday. Angry youth blocked the Ilorin-Kaba road, accusing authorities of ignoring earlier warnings about rising bandit activities in the area. In response, the state government has deployed soldiers and intensified patrols, while also ordering the temporary closure of schools in several districts as a precaution. However, Kwara State Commissioner of Police has assured residents that efforts to track the attackers and rescue the abducted worshippers will continue until the criminals are completely neutralized. In Kebbi State, Nigeria, the search continues for schoolgirls abducted during a violent attack on a secondary school in the early hours of November 17. According to authorities, armed men on motorbikes stormed the government girls' comprehensive secondary school in Maga at about 4 a.m., killing the school's vice principal and abducting 25 students. Security forces engaged the attackers in a shootout, but the gunmen managed to escape with the girls into the surrounding forest. Since then, soldiers, police tactical units, and local vigilantes have launched a joint search and rescue operation with Air Force surveillance flights deployed over the area. Two of the abducted girls have managed to escape and return safely. The attack has sparked outrage across the country. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has dispatched Vice President Kashim Shettima to Kebbi to meet with families and oversee rescue efforts. The Senate has also ordered a probe into the Safe School Fund, questioning why schools in high-risk area remain vulnerable. Humanitarian organizations, including Save the Children, have condemned the adoption and called for stronger protection for students across northern Nigeria. In international news, rapper Nicki Minaj made headlines this week after speaking at a United Nations event focused on religious violence in Nigeria. On November 18, 2025, Minaj addressed the U.S. mission to the UN's event titled Combating Religious Violence and the Killing of Christians in Nigeria. She warned that Christian community in Nigeria are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed, highlighting the burning of churches, threats against families, and the daily fear faced by worshippers. Minaj framed her speech as a humanitarian call rather than a political statement, saying, "For the rest of my life, I will care if anyone anywhere is being persecuted for their beliefs." She also thanked US President Donald Trump for his leadership in advocating for the protection of Christians, a remark that drew mixed reactions from the audience and social media. The rapper's intervention was introduced by US Ambassador Mike Waltz, who described the violence as genocide wearing the marks of chaos. While some Nigerian officials disputed the scale of her claims, Minaj emphasized that her message is about justice, humanity, and defending religious freedom globally. Her speech drew international attention to an issue that many say is often overlooked, urging world leaders and citizens alike to take urgent action to protect vulnerable communities.
In Nigeria, Christians are being targeted, driven from their homes, and killed. Churches have been burned. Families have been torn apart, and entire communities live in fear constantly, simply because of how they pray. And I want to be clear. Protecting Christians in Nigeria is not about taking sides or dividing people. It is about uniting humanity.
In Nigeria, the sentencing of IBOP leader Nnamdi Kanu continues to generate strong political reactions across the southeast. On November 20th, a federal high court in Abuja sentenced Kanu to life imprisonment after finding him guilty of several terrorism-related offenses, including incitement and the violent enforcement of sit-at-home orders. The preceding judge, Justice James Omotosho, ruled out the death penalty, saying global attitudes now favor more human approaches to punishment. The verdict immediately sparked renewed calls for a political resolution. Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, urged residents of the Southeast to remain calm, assuring that all hope is not lost and that discussions toward a political solution are already underway. Meanwhile, 44 federal lawmakers have formally written to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu asking him to intervene, discontinue Kanu's prosecution, and convey a national dialogue to address long-standing tensions in the region. Youth groups have also entered the conversation. The Owanze Youth Council criticized Southeast governors for what is called a lack of action, insisting that political solution remains the only credible path to peace. Other youth organizations say the region cannot fully stabilize without Kano's release. For now, the federal government has not announced its next step, but the Southeast wait anxiously, watching whether this moment leads to deeper dialogue or further division. In a related terrorist convention, Hussein Ismail, also known as Mein Tangara, a commander of the terrorist group Islamic State of West African Province, ISWAP, has been convicted. A federal high court in Abuja found him guilty on multiple terrorism-related counts after he charged his plea to guilty. A federal high court in Abuja found him guilty on multiple terrorism-related counts after he charged his plea to guilty. And in a sitting on 19th November 2025, Justice Emeka Witt delivered the judgment. He sentenced Ismaila as follows: 15 years for count 1 and 20 years each on count 2. 3, and 4. Sentences will run concurrently and its term starts from its date of arrest, dated back to 31st August 2017. Usaini Ismaila was arrested on 31st August 2017 in Shamia Baba village, Jiziwa local government of Kano State. He was charged under the Terrorism Prevention Act 2013, particularly for coordinating a series of violent attacks in 2012 on police facilities in Kano State, police headquarters in Bompai, mobile police base of Kabuka Road, Farm Center Police Station, amongst others. Still in the judiciary, reactions continue to trail two major terrorism-related judgments delivered in Nigeria this week after court issued contrasting sentences to two high-profile defendants. In Abuja, a federal high court sentenced IBOP leader Nnamdi Kanu to life imprisonment on multiple terrorism charges. In a separate ruling, an ISWAP commander, Hussein Ismaila, was sentenced to 20 years after being found guilty of participating in insurgency, killings, and other acts directly linked to violent extremism, including destruction and civilian death across the Northeast. The contrasting sentences have sparked debate over consistency in Nigeria's fight against terrorism. Some legal analysts say the outcomes reflect the differing nature and scale of both men's offenses, distinguishing between an armed extremist group and a separatist political movement. Others argue that the discrepancy raises questions about the application of terrorism law and whether political consideration influence sentencing. For now, both judgments remain in force, and reactions from across the country suggest the conversation is far from over.
That's all for this week. For more trending stories, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Rulus World Television. Once again, I'm Olushola Yanolua. Thanks for watching.